$47 billion. At its peak, WeWork was worth $47 billion. Think about that. Not a company building rockets, not the next Apple, not an AI company. A company that rented office space. Yet somehow, the world believed it could change the future of work. Investors believed it, employees believed it, the media celebrated it. Its founder became a global icon, private jets, magazine covers, international conferences. Everything looked unstoppable. Everything changed. Billions disappeared, thousands lost their jobs. One of the world's biggest investors was left trying to save what couldn't be saved. But here's the real question. How did so many intelligent people believe something that now seems impossible? Because this story was never really about office space, it was about belief. And belief can sometimes be more dangerous than reality. Every great collapse begins with a dream. The year was 2010. Office life had become predictable. Gray walls, tiny cubicles, long contracts, expensive rent. For freelancers, for startups, for young entrepreneurs, finding office space felt almost impossible. Then, someone asked, what if an office worked like a hotel? Walk in, choose a desk, meet ambitious people, leave whenever you want. Simple, flexible, modern, and surprisingly, no one had built it at scale. That idea became WeWork. But Adam Neumann wasn't selling desks, he wasn't selling buildings, he wasn't even selling office space. He was selling community, purpose, belonging. People didn't join because of the furniture. They joined because they wanted to be part of something bigger. And Adam knew exactly how to tell that story. Tall, confident, charismatic. Every interview felt inspiring. Every speech felt bigger than business. He didn't describe WeWork as a real estate company. He described it as a movement. And the world wanted to believe him. For a while, everything worked. New locations opened almost every month. One city became 5, 5 became 20. Then, WeWork spread across the world. Every new office looked better than the last. Bright spaces, beautiful design, free coffee, free beer, a place where entrepreneurs wanted to belong. Journalists loved it, photographers loved it, investors loved it even more. Money kept arriving. One funding round after another. $1 billion. $5 billion. $10 billion. $20 billion. Every new investment became another headline. Every headline made the company look even more successful. And that's when something changed, not inside the company, inside people's minds. Investors stopped asking, is this business profitable? Instead, who's investing next? The story had become more valuable than the business itself. But behind the beautiful offices, another story was quietly unfolding. WeWork wasn't buying buildings, it was leasing them for 10 years, sometimes 15, then renting them month by month. Think about that. Long-term commitments, short-term customers. As long as everyone stayed, everything looked perfect. The moment they left, the entire model would begin to crack. Almost nobody noticed, because the numbers were hidden behind the excitement. And then, someone arrived with billions of dollars, ready to make the biggest bet of them all. Every great bubble needs fuel. For WeWork, that fuel was SoftBank, led by Masayoshi Son, one of the world's most influential investors, a man known for making enormous bets. He wasn't looking for safe investments, he was looking for companies that could change the future. Then, he met Adam Neumann, two ambitious visionaries, one conversation, one decision, billions would follow. SoftBank didn't invest millions, it invested billions. Again and again, every investment sent a message to the world. If SoftBank believes, maybe we should too. Confidence exploded, the valuation climbed, 10 billion, 20 billion, 30 billion, until finally, $47 billion. It looked like unstoppable success, but underneath the celebration, the company was bleeding cash. Every new building cost millions, every expansion created more debt, every new location needed more members just to survive. The solution was always the same: spend more, grow faster, raise more money, repeat. As long as new investors kept arriving, the machine kept moving, but growth had become an addiction. No one wanted to slow down. No one wanted to ask whether the business actually worked, because questioning WeWork meant questioning everyone who had already invested. And that's exactly why the next chapter would become the company's worst nightmare, the IPO. The moment had finally arrived. For years, WeWork had controlled the story. Now, the numbers would speak for themselves. Preparing for an IPO meant opening the company's books to the entire world. Investors, analysts, journalists, everyone could finally see what had been hidden behind the headlines. And what they found changed everything. The company was burning billions of dollars, not once, not occasionally, every single year. The faster WeWork expanded, the more money it lost. Growth wasn't solving the problem, it was making it worse. Then, another question emerged, one that nobody had seriously asked before. Was WeWork really a technology company? Or was it simply an office rental business, wearing a technology company's valuation? The illusion began to crack. Journalists dug deeper, analysts looked closer, investors started asking questions they should have asked years earlier. Then came the governance concerns, conflicts of interest, related party transactions, unusual control, business decisions that benefited the founder more than the company. Suddenly, Adam Neumann was no longer being described as a visionary. He was being questioned. Every interview, every headline, every financial report added more pressure. Wall Street had stopped listening to the dream. Now, it wanted proof, and proof was exactly what WeWork couldn't provide. Within days, confidence collapsed, the excitement disappeared. The IPO, that was supposed to change everything, had done exactly that, just not in the way anyone expected. The collapse had begun. The IPO was officially canceled. Just weeks earlier, WeWork had been one of the most valuable startups on Earth. Now, that valuation was disappearing almost overnight. $47 billion became a fraction of its former value. Confidence evaporated, investors pulled back, employees questioned everything, the board had no choice. Adam Neumann had to step down. The man who once stood on stages promising to change the future was now leaving the company he built. The headlines changed. Visionary became warning. Innovator became risk. Revolution became collapse. Then came the financial reality. SoftBank, the investor that believed the most, was forced to rescue the company. Billions, more dollars, were committed, not to grow WeWork, simply to keep it alive. The dream that inspired millions had become a rescue mission. And perhaps the most painful part was this: nothing had changed overnight. The warning signs had always been there. People simply chose not to see them. Because believing the dream felt better than facing the truth. The story of WeWork was never really about office space. It wasn't even about Adam Neumann. It was about belief. The belief that vision could replace discipline, that confidence could replace accountability, that growth could replace profit. For years, the story was powerful enough to silence the numbers, until the numbers became impossible to ignore. WeWork didn't collapse because people suddenly stopped believing. People stopped believing because reality finally caught up. The warning signs had always been there. The risks had always existed. The questions had always deserved answers. But when everyone around you believes they're witnessing history, it's incredibly difficult to be the one person asking whether it's actually true. Every generation creates its own bubble, a new promise, a new visionary, a new company that claims this time is different. Sometimes it really is. Sometimes it isn't. The challenge is knowing the difference before it's too late. Because in business, stories can inspire, stories can attract investors, stories can build companies, but eventually, every story must face reality. And reality always wins. Back of story, uncovering the truth behind the headlines. Signature ending. Every headline tells a story, but not the whole story. This was the back of story.